Hi, I'm Robin with Big Doodle Dreams, and this video is all about crate training your puppy. Now, this is something that everybody should do, whether you're getting a puppy from me or from another breeder, or even if you've brought one home from a rescue organization or the Humane Society. You really do need to crate train your dog. The crate training is not mean, it's not consequence. It's teaching them that they have a den, a home that belongs to them. They are the ones that get to use it. It's not shared, it is their place. Dogs are den animals. They need a crate. They need that type of place. So this is the crate that I recommend. This is the Navigator. It's made by PetMate. It opens on both sides. The entire gate comes off. I've shown this in one of the previous videos. I have all of these for all of my dogs. I have completely switched from the wire crates. This looks more like a den. So when it's time to bring your puppy home, you're going to need newspaper. And what I recommend is that you open it up all the way so that you are able to spread it out inside of the crate. Now, this is just one sheet. I don't do just one sheet. I definitely want to do at least two, because you never know how big of an accident, or if they're going to have an accident, or maybe when you provide that toy in here, they'll start digging and they'll throw up all the papers. Well, it's a lot better when you have it thicker. So I also have shredded newspaper. And as you see, it's laying flat. It is not fluffed up. There's a lot. This is actually pretty heavy for what this is. So with this newspaper, if I just sprinkle it in there, it's just going to lay flat. It really is not going to serve the purpose that I need it to serve. So I am going to take a nice big clump of it, and I'm going to crunch it up. And you'll see that this flat pile that I started with will begin to take shape just because I'm crunching it. I'm pulling it apart and pulling it apart and squeezing and crinkling it, because when you crinkle it, it changes that flat shape and into something that is going to be more useful, more successful if you have an accident. Because the last thing you want to do is have a dog go in there and in the middle of the night they have an accident, and now they're going to sleep and now they've rolled in it. So you get up in the morning and your puppy has poop all over his coat and then you're stuck having to bath a puppy first thing in the morning, and bathing over and over really isn't good for their skin anyway. So this is a really nice preventative measure, and even if they got a little on them, you can take a paper towel and moisten it with some soap and water, and you can wipe them off instead of having to do an entire bath. So sprinkle it in your crate, everything that you crunched up, and then it's going to come time for the hard part. The hard part is not that you made the crate up correctly, is that now you have to crate your puppy. And there's a few things that I have to share with you. When it's time to start this practicing to teach them that this is their home and this is their safe place, several things you want to keep into consideration. A puppy that's already been sleeping, you're not going to wake him up, let him play for 5 minutes, and then put him in the crate. That's just not going to be successful. Your best bet is to go outside, run, play, get the energy out, and then come in and see when they're starting to wind down and say, okay, time for you to go in here, and you can call it whatever you want to call it. Call it home, call it crate, call it den, whatever you want. Give it a name so that when you put them in there, you're making that association, you're going into and you give them that word, because they're going to remember that word for future. When you say it's time for you to go to bed, and they'll go running right into their bed. When you do things over and over, they learn it. So in this instance, you are going to teach them a name. You're going to crate them in the middle of the action. Don't put them in the back bedroom. It makes no sense in their mind. They don't understand why you've separated them. Stick them in the family room where all the action is. TV's on, everybody's whatever. Your puppy might cry. They might bark and howl. The whole point is to teach them that they're safe. Their barking and crying is not, You have to be tougher than them and say, I'm going to ignore you until you're calm, until you've quieted. They'll settle down. And once they're quiet, and then they're looking around, they're going, well, my parents didn't leave me. They're still here. And, you always offer a toy in the crate. Now, a toy shouldn't be something that can be chewed up and consumed, swallowed, ingested. You want something that's safe. So a hard chew bone that doesn't have a squeaker, that doesn't have fuzzy eyeballs, something that they're going to be safe while they're in the crate. So when you crate them, give them the word that you're using, put them in the crate, close the door, make sure they have exactly this, the newspaper and the bedding, and provide that chew toy. And then you have to ignore. My suggestion on the ignoring, do a domestic chore. Get the broom out and sweep your floors while your puppy's in there. Wash the dishes, but be within vision of your puppy. And you want to do this multiple times during the day. On that initial week, your puppy's brand new. Everybody wants to carry the puppy around and never set it down and take it into the bed and do all these things. But when nighttime comes, you can't babysit a puppy in the middle of the night. This is the safest thing to do for your puppy. And then it turns into, gosh, we have to go away on a trip, or we have an emergency. If someone else needs to watch your puppy, they have a home. Their home can go with them, so that when you're stuck in that position where someone else is watching your dog, they're comfortable. They understand. They have words. They have a schedule. They understand that this is their home and it's a safe place. So this whole crating process is a very good process. Now, puppy goes in the crate. They start wailing. Don't look at them. Don't talk to them. Don't try to get their attention. Don't fuss at them. If anything, if you're sweeping, turn your back to them. Face your back to your puppy while they're crying and barking. If the crying and barking continues, take a step away. Continues, take another step further away from your dog. The further away, when they get quiet, come back. Start coming back. Come back. Again, don't pay attention. Don't look at, don't talk to, don't call their name. But return back to your sweeping. And if they start again, move away again. And same, just keep doing this. It sounds crazy. If you move away and the crying continues and it doesn't stop and it gets worse, okay, then another thing you can do, turn your radio on. So now you have an additional noise. Turn the radio on fairly loud enough that the puppy now hears it even though they're crying and barking. And then sing. Start singing the music. Start dancing around. Because your puppy, even though you're not talking to your puppy, your entertainment, your puppy is going to become mesmerized. Like, what is she doing now? I mean, I've gotten those looks because I know better. When they start that wheeling stuff, going, okay, the walking away hasn't worked. This is my resort. I turn the radio on and I dance around right in front of the puppy, and the puppy finally is like, okay, this lady is nuts. and they do, because eventually they settle down. Once they've settled down, lower your singing, slow your movement, start to go back to what you were doing, begin to turn the radio down, bring everything back down to where you want it, because you don't want the puppy to learn that, if you're singing and dancing, they're not going to cry. You do want to bring everything back down again, and then when the puppy is finally settled, and they're just sweet and just looking out, and you've been sweeping for a while being 5 minutes or more, they're not, in between a sob of every 30 seconds, then reward your puppy. Good job. Bring him out and go play. And, do this 4, 5, 6 times a day. Second, something else to think about, the crate is in the family room. If you do this all day long, when you get to the evening time, keep them in the family room. They're used to it. Moving the crate to a different room is only going to make things worse for your puppy. Your puppy has understood this is the area, this is the living space, there's the potty door, there's the door to go for the walk, there's my crate, there's my food, there's my bowl. They understand that. But when you take them from that environment that they know and they understand, and you stick them in the back bedroom because you're afraid they're going to cry all night, you're setting them up to cry all night. You are much better off to decide where you want the dog to have their crate and keep it there. It's much better for them, I promise you. So I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna bring a puppy out and I'm gonna show you what I mean, because they don't just walk in it. This is not a natural, ooh, I get it, I'm gonna walk right in. You have to teach them. So I'll be right back. All right, so I'm back, all about the crate training. And this sweet girl, she is beautiful. She is a Cindy Lou daughter. So Cindy Lou is in my videos. She's the one that does the collar versus harness video. That is her mommy. And I do want to show you her beautiful face. Yeah. So see my beautiful eyes? She's very pretty. I'll turn her around so you can see her, because I know everybody wants to see how pretty. Yes, you're beautiful. You're beautiful, girl. She's very calm. So her color, this is Blue Merle, and she has blue eyes. This is clearly a double recessive, because Blue Merle is recessive, as are the blue eyes. So, but she is super chill, super calm. As you can see, I can just flip her over. Mwah. She's beautiful. And I brought out a bone because I didn't have a toy inside the crate. So just like I said before, when it comes time to begin the training, so I say go crate. That's my words. Now, I've just gotten used to saying it. Everybody in the house has learned it. So those are my words, and that's what I say. So I would say go crate, and then I would place her in there. And I'm going to gently shut the door because I don't want to scare her. You know, you don't need the door rattling. And I'm going to sit right here, and she's probably going to be just fine. She's already seen, yeah, there goes the tail. She's already seen the inside of a crate previously. So this isn't something that new to her. I'm sure it's new to her just because we're standing outside. This is not where I normally crate my dogs. My dogs are in the house. They're not outside. So she's, you know, probably wondering what the heck. And, you know, that's the other thing. This is a larger crate. I have not seen that big a difference in training them using the large size versus the small size. I found that some of my puppies are more reluctant with the smaller crates. They're not quite as, you know, I mean, obviously this is a nice big door. You just easily plop her in. It's nothing. And this size is plenty big enough for when she gets older. So she is crying. She is barking. I'm not going to pay any attention to her. So therefore, I'm not going to touch the gate anymore. I'm not going to fuss at her. I'm not going to look at her. And this would go on until she calms. Now, calms for her, she might decide to chew the bone. You know, she might just lay down and decide mom hasn't left, so it doesn't matter. So this is typical for crate training. But obviously you would be in the house and you would be moving around. You wouldn't be seated next to the crate, because I don't recommend you sit right next to the crate, because you're not going to do that in the normal time frame. You know, you want to be able to crate and go to the store and go grocery shopping. Put them to bed at 10 o'clock at night and go to bed, and not have to worry about a puppy in the middle of the night. So this is exactly how I crate my puppies and how I train. And I hope that my video has been helpful to you, and I hope that you're able to use it, because honestly, crate training it's for the best. It really is for the best. So it was great. And please subscribe to my channel, visit my website, Big Doodle Dreams, and I will see you soon.